Okay, so that is OBS is on. Let's just switch everyone from Zoom onto the main screen. So it is, again, midweek, 21st of May. And let's just start on the daily, because I don't think we've actually had a look on the daily time frame at mostly this week. So I'm just going to take some of these off just for visibility. And let's just zoom out. So I'm going to take my indicators off for a second. And if there's any questions this morning as well, make sure to ask them in the Discord, because I've got Discord open so I can ask questions whilst I'm doing this. But yeah, let's have a look at the daily, because we've come a long way, right? We've come a long way since this weekly halfway back on the... And pretty much actually this day last month it traded. So this day last month it traded the halfway back, and we have stuck that 62 or 61.8, right? 61.8, we have stuck that level once, twice, 3 times. Obviously, I'm wanting some sort of pullback or consolidation. And of course, this is exactly what this kind of diamond-shaped pattern is here. Several days of consolidation. We have taken out lots of highs up here. So now we just basically have, you know, all of this range from the 61.8 here, where we had that bit of a gap up. And those all-time highs are going to put us to, let's have a look. They will put us to 22,654s. So from the lows, let's grab that from the low, all the way to the high will be 37.6%, which is pretty crazy. And that will be, depending on when we complete that, but that will be, we have already done 31 of that already, 31% already. So pretty wild stuff. If we look on the 3-month chart, it just looks beautiful. We had that retracement down into the 38 on the 22 same anchor new high, and the 2020 same anchor new high at the 50. So really nice stuff on the support. On the monthly, it just, I mean, we have never ever seen a wick. We've never seen a year come down so much and reverse so much so quickly, ever. It's never happened before, as far as I'm aware. Never happened in history in terms of what we have seen on this wick last month. Insane. So we are gunning higher, but the thing is, everyone knows we're gunning higher, so it always becomes much harder to trade, in my opinion, as opposed to trying to trade it down here, because everyone thinks this is just a short, and now we are all the way up here. Everyone and his man and his dog wants to trade the long side, so it makes it a lot harder to trade the long side, in my opinion, just because, you know, sheep mentality, sheep herd mentality, everyone wanting to try and do the same thing, the complete opposite happens, right? So you have to be a contrarian at all times, especially in this game. So I do have my contrarian hat on today, this week. I don't really want to trade the short side, just because I like to trade the long side, just because the market is mostly long 90% of the time, so it makes sense to be on the right side of the market. However, it has been... it is time to see, again, some sort of consolidation and pullback, right? We've come up so much. But we are still in supports, and those supports stem all the way back from May 12th highs. And we have traded the halfway back this morning, which is at 276s. And we also have completed a full negative 100% short. So entry there at 7:30 this morning, and we completed the negative 100 at 2:20, so 8 o'clock, 7:30 to 8 o'clock, and we complete the full negative 100. We have now got an inverse head and shoulders and an under over. Took out the previous day lows, and we are at that 50% long support at 276s. So I've drawn that halfway back from that level just because this is where we currently are. I don't love it, but I'm just keeping it on my screen just to see if we trade the 79% fade long down here. If we do, maybe it's a cheap long down here at that 256. I wanted to see 250s trade today, and also 200s, which is down here, 200s. So we will see if those levels do trade. The 250 has already traded this morning on this completion down here. Again, you broke the negative 100 at 245. Under, you are now trading back over, and this is the halfway back, and that 61 lines up with the high to high from the May 12th high to high at 276. So we've got about 23 minutes to the open, so it will just be advantageous in my opinion just to wait to see what we get at the open. Maybe we get a gap and go, but I think it's going to be much harder to get continuation this week, just purely because of where we are, and we need some sort of digestion. Hopefully we get some sort of news that is going to give us some sort of pullback. And where would I draw that from? I want to see at some point, I do want to see that 20,700. I still have it alerted on my screen because I still want to see that level. It looks really, really good. I just don't want to short into that or short down to that level. I'd rather just be a bit long buy at that level because I don't know if it's going to hit, right? So as opposed to trying to predict something to happen, I'd rather just wait for it to happen and then play the long side off that, because pullback longs are so much more easier to get when the overall market is bullish. So that's my morning breakdown. I'm just going to be waiting to see how these levels react. Bullish above, bearish below, and me being bearish, I'm just going to let it sit. Basically, when I say bearish, I'm just going to basically sit on hands. I'm not going to be shorting any of this. It will go without me, and that will be fine. But if we do play the long side, I will wait to see if this negative 23 completes at 385s. And if we do, I will draw a same anchor new high just to see if we do react from that. So I'll put my screen on Tradeovate. If there's any questions, let me know. And yeah, I'll do a new Zoom link tomorrow just because we have rotations of free 7-day trial people coming and going. So it helps just keep refreshing the link from time to time, just so obviously not everyone can get in. So I will put the screen on. Again, any questions, let me know. I will be here to answer anything. But yeah, probably a bit of a slower week. Had a couple good days. So I'm going to be in capital preservation today